God bless everyone. My name is Pastor Elva Martinez. I wanted to share an experience I had with the Lord on August 2nd. I wrote all the details down because if I wouldn't have written it down, I would have forgot the experience. And I wanted to share a verse really quick with you so that I can go ahead and let you know what I saw and what the word that the Lord gave me for his people. In Revelations 21, it says 21:10, and he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God. Now 18 says, the construction of its wall was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like clear glass. Verse 21 says, the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Each individual gate was of one pearl, and the streets of the city was pure gold, like transparent glass. Now, on August 2nd, the Spirit of the Lord took me to heaven. And when the Spirit of the Lord took me to heaven, I met up with Jesus. Now, we entered a city, and this city was the city of gold. Everything was gold. The streets were gold. The buildings were gold. There were mansions, all mansions in this city. There wasn't houses or apartments. No, it was all mansions, like the Bible says when Jesus spoke to his disciples that he was leaving so that he could prepare a place for us, so that where he is we can also be, and that in his Father's house were many mansions. And when I'm in heaven being shown these mansions, Jesus takes me to the first mansion, and I'm looking in the mansion, and the first thing I see was a chandelier, and I'm looking at it, and I was like, wow, that's very beautiful. And it impacted me because everything was gold, but that chandelier was like a crystal, brilliant. It was I can't even describe it how beautiful it was. It was glass, and it was just so shiny and beautiful that it took my view directly to that chandelier. And I'm walking with Jesus through the mansion, but Jesus was silent. And each time I've had an experience with the Lord, he always speaks to me, and he's telling me what he wants me to see. But in this particular experience, he was very silent. So I'm looking at everything. I have a great joy in my heart. I'm rejoicing because I'm seeing what the Bible says when Jesus spoke to his disciples and told them that in his Father's house are many mansions. And I was seeing that word, come to life before my eyes. And we leave the first mansion, so we go into the second mansion, and I'm looking at it. I'm just so emotional, happy that I'm able to see, God's greatness and beauty in those mansions. But all of a sudden, I have like a sadness come upon me. I was happy, but also feeling sad, and I began to cry. And I can understand that I was feeling the sadness that Jesus had. And I asked him, Jesus, where is your church? And as I'm looking, I'm asking him, Jesus, where's your church? And he wouldn't answer me. And I just began to cry even more because I was so sad, because it just overwhelmed me. And he says, come, I'm going to show you something. So we leave the second mansion and we go into a third one. This one was different. It was big. It was enormous. There was a big room, and I saw a table. And this table, I could see the beginning but not the ending. That's how big and enormous this table was. So I'm looking at the table, and I could see all the settings, the plate settings, all the utensils, everything in order. And I'm looking at it, and I cry more, and I tell Jesus, Jesus, where is your church? And he tells me, come, I'm going to show you something. He goes, but tell them time is running out. Tell them time is running out. And I walk with him, and we enter the clouds. And I'm walking on the clouds, and all I could think of, even though I could feel Jesus' sadness in my heart, I started to rejoice, because I'm like, I'm walking on clouds. I was so happy, because I'm like, I can't believe this. I'm walking on clouds and I'm not falling. And we keep walking, and all I could think of is like, wow, because I'm looking at the clouds. They're before me, under me, all around, and we're walking through it. And we enter another area. This area was gray, very, it was just, it had no color. It was very dull and gray. And as I'm looking, he says, come, I want to show you something. So he shows me this section where there was people. And I look at the people, and they're being controlled by something. And I'm looking at it, and I could see the people taking two steps forward, and they would turn to the right. They would take 2 steps forward, and they would continue to do the same thing. It was like they were going in a circle. And I can understand that they were distracted by something that had their attention, and it was actually controlling their pattern of life. And I asked him again, where is your church? And he says, tell them time is running out. And he repeated it again. He says, tell them time is running out. And I was crying, because I'm listening to Jesus saying, tell them time is running out. And all of a sudden he shows me a big clock. And when I look at this clock, I see that there's 3 men that are in charge of the time. They had like little, I don't know if you call them digits, or it was like pieces of the time. And each of them, the first one jumped and he added time, but when he added time, the clock shifted counterclockwise. Instead of going forward, it went backwards, as if it was giving more time. And the second man also jumped, and it did the same thing, it added more time. And Jesus said, tell them time is running out. And he said to me, the islands are going to disappear. Revelation speaks of that the islands will disappear. And he says, even though they will disappear, he says, those that have my sign, my seal upon them will be saved. I will save them. I will take them, he said. And I will start taking those that are mine one by one, because if I don't, they will not be saved. He says, but tell them that time is running out. I wanted to share this experience with you, because I've had many experiences, but this one has been so profound, and the one where the Lord has told me, tell them. So I'm sharing it with you and letting you know time is running out. So share this video with your friends, your family, and let them know they need to run to Christ. He is the only way to the Father and into heaven. You need to, we need to review ourselves as the bride of Christ and his people, that God has called us his own. He is coming soon. Time is running out. God bless.